It's a stimulus rehabilitation center, stimulus addiction rehabilitation center. That's what this retreat is, although a lot of stimulation from me, I'm afraid. But going into this practice, you're weaning yourself off stimulation and discovering for yourself, can you have a sense of peace of mind? Can you discover a sense of well-being? Can you even discover joy without it being reliant upon the stimulation, even mental? Because this is just flat. This is like flat water. It's just neutral. And so for this practice, it needs to be focusing on something that is just neutral, not feeding your hedonic craving. So let's try it. Let's try it. We're going to be doing this multiple times on variations of the theme, but please find a comfortable position. We'll now go into a 24-minute session. We're starting our shamatha practice in this retreat, in this session. We will begin every session with settling body, speech, and mind in their natural states. I was giving a lot of instruction in the first session. Less this time, less the next time, until I have the confidence you've got the hang of it. Then I'll simply say, now, settle body, speech, and mind in the natural states as you've done before. But for those who've not received this instruction before, I will give now a refresher course, but with fewer words. And then we'll go to the main practice. You hear the sound of the chime, relax, let your awareness descend right down to the floor, your chair, whatever is supporting you. Let your awareness descend to the ground. Let your conceptual mind melt, dissolve into a simple flow of non-conceptual awareness that is still clear and discerning, but simply not snagged or caught up in the network of thoughts and language. Begin to cultivate a flow of knowing, clear and discerning, intelligent, knowing, without that knowing being embedded in thought or language. And once you've settled your awareness in that field of sensations of the earth element, solidity and firmness, again, like a fragrance filling a room, let your awareness fill the entire somatic space of your body, mindfully aware of the whole range of sensations arising within this field. Wherever there's firmness, a sense of solidity, you're sensing the sensations of the earth element. Wherever there's fluidity, the moisture in your mouth, for example, the water element. There's a gradient from cold to hot, corresponding to the intensity of the fire element. There's all types of sensations of motion, whether vibration, movement of the breath, movement of limbs, any sense of movement, fluctuations, vibrations within the body, air element. Be aware of the whole range of tactile sensations arising within the field of your body, and simply witness them without commentary, words, or visualization. And set your body at ease. If you sense areas that feel tight, your shoulders, face, or elsewhere, as you breathe in, gently focus your attention on those areas that feel tight, gently, gently. And as you breathe out, surrender your muscles to gravity, as if with a sigh of relief with every breath. Cultivating the sense of ease and comfort of relaxation, the sense of stillness of your body, the vigilance, the alertness of your posture, even while lying down. Your body is utterly relaxed, but psychologically, you've adopted this position, this shavasana, this corpse position, as a posture of formal practice. So mentally, you are vigilant, and physically, you're utterly relaxed. Settle your body in a state of ease, stillness, and vigilance. Then settle your respiration in its natural flow. And you will find this is very subtle. Because generally, when we attend to something very closely that we can influence, we do overcome that tendency and simply witness the breath flowing in, the breath flowing out, observing the flow of the respiration egolessly, relinquishing all control, all influence. And allow your body to breathe as if you weren't there, as if you were deep asleep. And with every out-breath, relax the body, release the breath all the way to the end, and release any thoughts or images that may come to mind. Return to silence with every exhalation. And in this way, settle your speech, especially the inner speech, the voice of the mind, in effortless silence. As you attend to this more and more closely, you'll see how subtle it is, how easily your desire, expectation, preference will filter in, and you'll find you are modifying the breath. See if you can release that tendency, as if you are having an out-of-body experience, witnessing somebody else's body breathe. It's subtle. And then we turn to the subtlest of these three settlings of the mind. As we settle the mind in a sense of ease, relaxation, comfort, it's not an on-off switch. It is a gradient of a deeper and deeper sense of ease, the sense of being carefree, fearless. Go deep and go deeper. If you're a Buddhist, taking refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, and experience that sense of ease, that joyful surrender as you devote yourself to Dharma passionately, but with such a sense of ease. Freedom from anxiety, freedom from hope and fear. Relax. And in that release of all desires and dislikes, that release of all grasping, awareness naturally settles in stillness. You're not making it still. Still is what manifests to you when you stop agitating your awareness, tying it up in knots, with all your hopes and fears, desires and aversions, all the flow of rumination. When you give all of that a rest, awareness is naturally still, effortlessly still. And again, the experience of clarity, of wakefulness, of vigilance, of alertness is not something you add to awareness by striving. It's the very nature of awareness when it's unveiled from grasping. So rest there in the effortless sense of ease and stillness and clarity of awareness. Come home. Rest. Awareness in its natural state. Bright and clear, discerning and intelligent, but simple, unelaborated. Rest in that flow of awareness of being aware. Noticing the activities of the mind, but not being carried away by them or identifying with them. In this way, you settle your mind in its natural state. And now for the second half of this 24-minute session called a Gataka in Sanskrit. For the second half, we turn now to a main practice, a shamatha practice of mindfulness of breathing. And the method we'll adopt now traces back 1,500 years to Asanga, but we go directly to the method itself, and that is from this stillness of awareness. Direct your attention now, if you will, once again to the entire somatic field of your body, from the soles of your feet right up to the crown of your head. Be aware of the whole space of tactile sensations and the whole range of sensations arising within this field. Observe the movements of these sensations from the perspective of the stillness of your awareness. And now within that diverse range of tactile sensations, sensations of earth, water, fire, and air, I invite you now to selectively focus your attention on just those sensations throughout the entire body that correlate with the in and outflow of your breath. In other words, focus single pointedly on the experience of your body breathing. You can experience it not only in your belly, your chest, not only at the nostrils, you can experience it in your legs, in your limbs. Every sensation of movement within the body that is obviously correlated with in-breath, the out-breath. Focus on all of these fluctuations. One could call them energetic fluctuations throughout the body that are the fluctuations of the in and out breath. It's very easy to add to this practice, holding some type of mental imagery of what you think your body looks like, or thinking about the body, thinking about the breath. But now see if you can release all of that, all mental imagery, all thoughts, language, and just focus nakedly, without conceptual elaboration, on the bare tactile sensations throughout the body, of the body breathing in, the body breathing out. Continue throughout the entire session to allow your breath, the flow of respiration, to settle in its natural flow. Sometimes long, sometimes short. Sometimes there may be a pause after the end of exhalation, sometimes not. Whatever it is, let it be. Just observe the rhythm. When the in-breath is long, note that it is long. When the out-breath is long, note that it is long. And on occasion, when the in-breath is short, note that it is short. When the out-breath is short, note that it is short. So maintain this very simple but clear flow of cognizance, a flow of knowing the relative duration of each in and out breath. The sensations you are attending to are empty of thought and empty of language. There are no words to be found here. So let there be a symmetry of that which you're attending to and that with which you are attending, namely your awareness. Let it too be free of thought and language, but discerningly attend to this flow, these fluctuations of energy throughout the body, corresponding with the rhythm of the breath. all practices of shamatha are exercises in cultivating a sense of inner balance, specifically in terms of attention. So in this phase of practice, this mode of mindfulness of breathing, I invite you to take on the cultivation of a very specific type of balance, and that is breath by breath, especially with each exhalation. Cultivate a deeper and deeper sense of ease, of relaxation, of letting go, of joyful surrender. Even perhaps surrendering your sense of your own identity, so carefree. With each breath, especially every exhalation, relax more and more deeply, but without losing the sense of clarity of attention with which you began the session. So generally when we relax more and more deeply, we immediately start losing the clarity. The mind becomes dull. The mind becomes spaced out. The mind gets sleepy. We go to sleep. Very relaxed, but we sacrifice clarity and slip into dullness and sleep. So the challenge here is to indeed relax more and more deeply as if you were falling asleep, but sustain that clarity with which you began, the flow of clear cognizance, wide awake, but more and more deeply relaxed. The bounties of this are great. Cultivate it. And let's continue practicing now for the last 3 minutes or so in silence.